Hi, it's a new week and we have a new episode for dairy training. As usual, we remind you to subscribe as we carry on with the lessons on dairy farm benchmark. We are talking about measuring the performance of your farm so that you can know where you are and you can be able to improve. When you measure, then you can improve. Success in dairy is about gradual and consistent improvement. Now, in this episode, we are looking at three sections. We look at the issue of recording, but now from a financial perspective. In the other episode, we looked at recording, but production recording. This is recording for money and incomes, a bit of human resource recording, and so on. But then we also look at we look at the issue of energy and manure management. How do you handle manure? How efficient are you on energy? And then finally, we look at the risks and the biosecurity or biosafety. Now, once we have handled that, then we'll have captured all the sections of the dairy farm that needs to be given singular and specific attention so that we can eventually have a full judgment of the farm. I need to say this, we don't judge a farm in general as one. We have to go deeper into the units, because if we make a general judgment of the farm, we are likely to miss some gaps, some specific attention areas which may need quick actions. So let's go to financials. What do we check in the financials? For us to give you a high score, you have to have done this. You have to have captured your financial records, the expenses well recorded and the incomes well recorded. This means that you can actually be able to give us an analysis of your profits. We also need to see, do you record the cost of your feeds? Do you capture all the expenses, and can they be evidenced with vouchers or with receipts that can be able to be traced into your files? If you're using a financial accounting system, again, we also check, are all the costs captured? Then if that is the case, then we also check, how well do you do your taxes? Now, we are not the taxman, but the whole idea is to know, are you also able to pay taxes for your workers? The reason is we want your farm to comply so that an external influence like the taxman does not bring trouble to your farm and you end up not meeting the objective for which the farm was established in the first place. So we also look at compliances, not for the purpose of reporting you, but for the purpose of making you comply. So we look at those financial recording. We also check whether you have been able to make a target for yourself on profits. What kind of decisions are you making about the farm profitability? For example, you make this profit and then you have an idea what the next profit is going to be, and you have some structures that you have put in place to be able to improve. And of course, we also look at how organized are your books. If someone was to come and do an audit, are your books organized, and are you able to explain everything that you do under financials? That is basically what we capture, and we award high score for those people who have a proper financial structure, a proper personnel structure. Workers have different grades or different classes. They have a structure, organizational structure. You know who is supervising who earns what, who pays what tax, who pays what kind of deductions, who has what insurance. All those things should be captured well under the financial recording. Then two, we look at the issue of energy and manure. In a dairy, you'll see a farm has a lot of manure coming out. We want to know, how is that manure collected from the farm? How is it drained well without causing some security or safety dangers in the farm? And how is it utilized in the fodder farms? Or is it draining somewhere and piling up, losing a lot of nitrogen into the air, again also leaching into the ground and so on? Or is it clearly channeled to the farms? Or is it also used to generate energy? Remember, we have all to be environmentally sensitive. We have to be careful about the climate. We are encouraging the use of clean energy in the farms. So in that case, is the manure used to make biogas, which is used for heating in the farms? So here, if you have biogas in the farms, in your farm, which has come from the manure that comes from the dairy, then we give you a high score. If you don't have, we give you a low score, and we encourage you to begin to convert that energy, and then you can be able to use the slurry for manuring of your farm. So the whole process of how energy is harvested, how manure is harvested, and how it is turned to energy. Now, but we're not just looking at biogas. We are also looking have you also looked at other sources of energy, or do you just rely on what comes from the grid? If you have solar, if you have wind energy, if you have biogas, we give you a high score. We encourage all farms to do what we call an integrated management system, or if you like, circular economy, so that there's no waste in the farm. Every waste becomes a resource for the next unit, and so that we have more saving on energy, and the farm is not losing too much money by paying to the power supplier from the grid, but is able to save a lot of money by generating their own energy from their own resources. Then finally, we have the issue of risks and biosecurity. When you talk about risks, it is any risk that you can see in the farm. The ability of the manager, the ability of the owner to be able to know what risks am I facing in this farm. Do I face the risk of theft? Do I face the risk of FMD, foot and mouth disease? Do I face the risk of a certain pest in the farm? The ability to be aware of what risks the farm is exposed to, and to be able to match every risk with a mitigation, and sometimes to ensure some of them, that is what we score very highly. But if the farm owner is not aware of what risks are within that environment, then you score very low, because the awareness of risks is part of securing your investment or securing your enterprise. But also you look at biosafety or biosecurity. That is now, how do you handle people who are entering the farm? Is the farm secured in such a way that there's only one entry and one exit instead of people entering from different areas? Is the farm put in such a way that dogs can be able to pass across the farm and bring diseases, cause abortions of cows and so on? Other animals are coming in and out. Are we able to capture that so that we are able to control or to protect the animal from external sources of diseases and infections? Then how about visitors? How about the workers? How are they dressed? How do visitors get dressed when they walk in? In good farms where we give a high score, this is what I see. You walk into the gate and you find that they have put a foot bath, a vehicular bath. When the cars are driving in, they pass through some treated water or foot bath. Then they are able they are disinfected. Then when workers or when visitors are coming in, again they have to dip their shoes, or sometimes they are sprayed, so that when they walk in, they are free from all diseases that might affect animals. Or if they are consultants coming from another farm, there are some protocols on how they are going to be handled. They don't come with the same clothes to the farm, so that they don't bring diseases from another farm to your farm. So those are the safety measures I'm talking about, to protect the cows from diseases that may come from outside, by making the structures very friendly for such a control to be implemented. We also check how are the things how are the waste generally treated, or how are they disposed? If you have given cows some drugs, or there are some things that are coming in cans, how are those cans disposed? Am I likely to see cans being burnt next to the cows, or next to the milking parlor, or next to the hay store, which can burn easily? Or do we have a very structured way of disposing them, and in a way that does not affect the environment and does not pose a threat to the people living there or to the cows living there? Now, however, we do not just look at the barn. We also look outside the barn to check whether are there some pits that are left open and fenced. Maybe it is the manure pit, which is very dangerous. A child could be passing by. Are they well fenced? Or maybe it's a borehole that is it's a shallow well that is open. All those things, we ensure that the farm is as safe as possible, because a farm can also suffer losses when somebody comes in and gets a tragedy in the farm because they fell in a pit or they were injured. We have to make the farm injury free, and we have to make 100% safety. We may not be perfect in this matter, but then what's important is to know where are you as far as biosecurity and safety is concerned, so that you can improve the safety of your farm, so that your workers are safe. Don't put structures that allow workers to go into pits and then they have to climb, or to climb up and they have to come down. You expose these workers to risk, you expose the farm to a lot of losses. So this part of scoring is just to encourage the farm to ensure that they are risk-free, and everybody, every person and every cow is safe to be at that farm. And that summarizes our last episode on scoring, measuring the performance of your farm. We have discussed the issue of financial, we have discussed energy, manure and waste management, and we have discussed the matter of risks and biosafety for your dairy farm. This has been a very informative session about how to score your farm. Next time, invite a consultant who is able to do this. Get a score. It might challenge you. Maybe your farm is on the red, or it's on the green, I don't know, or in between, but doesn't matter. You just need to know where am I so that I can begin my journey of continuous and consistent improvement. You have been with me, and I hope you've learned a lot. Remember to subscribe, because when you subscribe, then you get all the lessons that we put on this channel.